The email landed like a blade in my chest, sharp and cold, slicing through the quiet hum of my morning coffee. I'm filing for divorce. Please respect my space. 6 words from Sarah, my wife of 12 years, glowing on my laptop screen in the dim kitchen light. My fingers hovered over the keyboard, trembling, as the room spun, plates clinking faintly in the sink, the fridge's low buzz mocking the silence. I typed perfect, hit send, and forwarded her message to my attorney before the ache could swallow me whole. 2 days later, her lawyer's call revealed the boundaries she hadn't anticipated, but by then, I'd already glimpsed the truth she thought she'd buried. The kitchen smelled of burnt toast and regret. I sat at the oak table, its surface scratched from years of hurried breakfasts and late-night talks, staring at the laptop. My heart thudded, each beat a question. Why now? What broke? Sarah's email hadn't mentioned infidelity, but the absence of explanation screamed louder than any confession. I scrolled through our texts searching for cracks I'd missed. Her messages from the past month were curt, running late at yoga need space. Each one a pebble in the avalanche I hadn't seen coming. I remembered the first red flag, subtle as a whisper. 3 months ago, Sarah started staying late at her graphic design firm, claiming client deadlines. I'd nodded, supportive, ignoring the unease curling in my gut. She'd come home smelling faintly of unfamiliar cologne, her laughter too bright, her eyes dodging mine. I'd rationalized it. New perfume, maybe, or a colleague's aftershave clinging to her jacket. Denial was easier than doubt. But now, with her email burning my screen, those moments felt like breadcrumbs leading to a truth I wasn't ready to face. I stood, pacing the hardwood floor, its creaks echoing my fracturing thoughts. The living room, with its faded green couch and framed photos of our trips, Paris, Tahoe, that rainy weekend in Maine, felt like a museum of a life I no longer recognized. I picked up a photo from our 10th anniversary, Sarah's smile wide, her hand on my chest. My thumb traced her face, and a sob caught in my throat. Was it all a lie? Anger surged, hot and jagged, but beneath it, love lingered like a bruise, tender and unyielding. I called her. The phone rang 4 times before her voicemail chirped, bright and professional. Sarah, it's me, I said, voice steady despite the storm inside. We need to talk. Not about space, about us. I hung up, knowing she wouldn't call back. She'd been pulling away for months, her affection replaced by distracted glances and half-hearted apologies. I'd blamed her stress, her job, anything but the possibility of someone else. The next day, I drove to her office, a sleek glass building downtown that hummed with ambition. The lobby smelled of polished marble and coffee, and the receptionist's smile faltered when I asked for Sarah. She's in a meeting, she said too quickly. I waited, leaning against a pillar, watching employees bustle past. When Sarah emerged, her laughter stopped me cold. She was with a man, tall, sharp-suited, his hand grazing her elbow as they shared a private joke. My stomach twisted, but I stayed still, invisible in the crowd, memorizing his face. At home I dug deeper. Her laptop, left open on the counter, was a Pandora's box I couldn't resist. Her password, our wedding date, still worked, a cruel irony. Emails to Mark filled her inbox, each one a dagger. Missed you at the conference, can't stop thinking about last night, you make me feel alive. My vision blurred, tears mixing with rage. I wanted to scream, to shatter the screen, but instead, I printed every email, my hands shaking as the printer whirred. The stack of pages felt heavy, a tangible weight of betrayal. I called my attorney, Claire, her voice calm but steely over the phone. Forward me everything, she said. We'll protect your assets and set terms. She wants space? She'll get it legally. I separated our bank accounts that afternoon. My fingers numb as I clicked through the forms. Each step felt like carving out a piece of my heart, but I couldn't stop. Sarah's space wasn't just emotional, it was a calculated exit, and I wouldn't be blindsided again. 2 days later, her lawyer called. Mr. Ellis, this is Gregory Tate, he began, his tone clipped. Sarah didn't anticipate you'd move so quickly. The account separation complicates things. I leaned back in my chair, the kitchen now dim with evening shadows. She asked for space, I said, voice low. I'm giving it to her. Tate sighed, and I could almost hear Sarah's panic through the line. She hadn't expected me to fight. She thought I'd crumble. That night, I sat on the couch, the printed emails spread across the coffee table. Each word was a wound, but I read them again, searching for the moment she stopped being mine. Mark was her colleague, the man from the lobby, his charm evident even in text. "You're my escape," she'd written. Escape from what? Me? Our life? Guilt gnawed at me. Had I been too distant, too focused on my own work? But no, this wasn't my failure. It was hers. The doorbell rang, startling me. Sarah stood on the porch, her coat damp from the drizzle, her eyes red-rimmed. "Can we talk?" she asked, voice small. I let her in, the air thick with unspoken accusations. She sat on the edge of the couch, avoiding the emails, though her glance betrayed her. "I didn't mean for this to happen," she said, wringing her hands. "Mark was a mistake. I was lost, and he was there." Her words were a punch, confirmation of what I dreaded. "A mistake?" I said, voice rising. "You planned this, Sarah. You chose him." She flinched, tears spilling. "I still love you," she whispered, but the words felt hollow, a reflex rather than truth. I wanted to believe her, to cling to the woman in the photos, but trust was ash in my mouth. "Why?" I asked, the question raw. She looked away, the rain tapping the windows like a heartbeat. "You stopped seeing me," she said. "I felt invisible." Her words stung, but they didn't justify her betrayal. I thought of the years I'd poured into us, the dreams we'd built. "You could have talked to me," I said. "Instead, you broke us." She left without another word, the door clicking shut like a final note. I sat in the dark, the emails glowing faintly under the lamp. Then a notification pinged. Another email from Mark, sent minutes ago. "She's coming to me. You didn't deserve her." My blood ran cold. I forwarded it to Claire, my jaw tight. Sarah thought she'd escape cleanly, but Mark's arrogance was her undoing. His email tied their affair to her divorce filing, a legal misstep Claire would exploit. The next morning, Claire called. "This is gold," she said. "Her affair's documented, and Mark's email shows intent. We'll push for primary assets and alimony leverage." I nodded, staring out the window at the gray dawn. The betrayal was undeniable now. A wound that would scar but not define me. Sarah wanted space, but she'd find it came with a cost. Her secrets laid bare, her choices exposed. I wasn't the man she'd left behind. I was the one rewriting the ending.